Welcome to Sport Beach Clubhouse. It's been an awesome week, and we're really excited to bring out a very fun group of humans to talk about the NFL Super Bowl spot this year. So first up, I'm Evan Chu, Global CEO of 72 and Sunny. And next up, I want to introduce one of my partners, the founder of 72 and Sunny, Glenn Cole.
Okay.
Woo! Woo! Friday!
Let's go.
If you don't have a beer, you should grab one.
It's that time.
Next up, I get to introduce a longtime partner and friend, our client, the global CMO of the NFL, Tim Ellis. Woo! No offense, Glenn. Next, we have the best athlete that will be on the stage. Sorry, Tim. Sorry, Glenn. Vanita Krouch, QB1 for the USA Women's Flag Football Team.
Let's go, Vanita! Coach V!
And I think probably the coolest elementary school teacher anyone could ask for. Amazing. And last but not least, we have a small business owner you might be familiar with, Pat McAfee. Come on.
Let's go, P-Mac! Woo! Woo, woo, woo. Hello. It's a really nice space. Thank you for coming. Yeah, no problem.
Awesome. Hey, so what do you guys want to talk about?
I don't know, the Super Bowl.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to start with you, Tim. We're going to talk about the NFL Super Bowl ad. It's something people have come to look forward to, I think, for the past 6 years. Why does the NFL do a Super Bowl ad?
Yeah, why do we need to do a Super Bowl ad?
Yeah.
I get asked that question every year. You know, for us, you have to remember that, like, when the Super Bowl, because it's this massive cultural event, we get 60% more people than we normally do for any other game. And so that's a massive opportunity for us to talk to casual fans or even non-fans, right, to sort of change their views on who's the NFL and impress upon them things that are strategically really important to us. So every year we really, with these guys here at 72 and Sunny, we think very carefully about, all right, what is the appropriate message that aligns with our business plan, our strategic direction for the future? And then, you know, what's the temperature of the country? Like, you know, what's the appropriate response for the NFL right now culturally? So we always do something which is around our cause initiatives. We call it our Force for Good, if you will. So if you've been watching the AFC, NFC championships, you may have seen I Am Somebody, which I think is a really powerful spot. In fact, the New York Times today said it was the best ad
Let's
so
go!
far.
Woo!
Cheers.
I mean, I guess we would agree. And then we do something more around sort of like, you know, the entertainment of the game itself, right? So the fun around the game, the joy of the game. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. And so it's usually, of course, football oriented. But again, we're always thinking about strategically, what do we need to do? And one of the biggest and most important areas of focus for us is flag football, right? Because it really helps young people get into the game, understand the game, and ultimately become lifelong fans, right? So we know you're 4 times as likely to be a lifetime fan if you play, you know, if you participate in any way. That could be Madden, that could be, you know, tackle or flag. And certainly flag is the most inclusive part of the format, right? You've got, and right now, and one of the biggest stars right next to me here, you've got an incredibly high level of performance right now across the world, not just in the U.S. So we're excited about that. We'll talk a bit more about that as we go along. But this year's ad is going to be around the momentum of girls flag football, and we got some really fun sort of tricks in our bag for that one.
Who up here has PR training? This guy. All the messages.
Nailed it.
Nailed.
Glenn.
Okay, let's find out who doesn't have PR training.
Speaking of the process of how we make it, yeah. A lot of brands I've heard, I've never experienced this, shoot their Super Bowl commercials in like June.
Yeah.
And edit in like
How wild would that? How cool
August.
would that be?
72 and Sunny is known for making it the speed of culture. Things are fast. Can you tell us a little bit about the timeline on this one?
Well, we just shot it about, I don't know, 10 days ago or something, for real. And we just finished it, I think, like 4 hours ago.
We just approved it
For real.
today.
Like we said,
Does it have final in the title?
we're like, let's do a panel. And then on the way here, I got the text, like, are we good to go? Like,
I
is
just
this
waited,
good?
the
Like,
one
yeah.
you sent me earlier had WIP in the title.
Yeah, it had
so-
WIP, which means work in progress for those not seeing WIP files. We normally, with other brands, we do try to film things in like December, which is still pretty late. We're usually the latest people because we want to see what's going on in culture and the zeitgeist. with the NFL, we usually wait till early January because we're trying to get players in, and you want to get some playoff folks who maybe don't keep going. And so we did that this year, but the LA Fires sidetracked us. So we were committed to the LA production community. They all asked, please don't abandon the shoot. Please don't take it out of state. Please let us stay involved. So we moved it to San Diego. Everybody was comfortable. Pat, thanks for agreeing to come down there, and made it happen.
Amazing. Let's watch the teasers if you haven't seen them.
Okay. Start loud, whoever's driving.
Attention students, this is your principal speaking. Flag football is now a girls' varsity sport. Tryouts after school. Magic happening everywhere. Because of who? Me.
Excellent acting.
Yeah, so stupid. So you said this, I don't know where I'm supposed to go, but I appreciate you, and congrats. You're a badass. This is like, I'm learning a lot about a lot of people here today, and I met Wu-Tang here a little bit ago. I mean, it's been a wild, 40 minutes here, but like, yeah, hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man.
Hey, Wood will let you take a hit of his thing.
I mean, that's unbelievable. Yeah. I will talk about that forever. Yeah, I'm in, yeah, all good. No, but it's been a crazy, so you said go to San Diego. Like, as soon as I heard about this, it was like probably 3 days before the shoot.
It was, yeah.
I think it's because there was certainly somebody else that was supposed to do the role that I was in. And the only reason why I know that is because they do a drawing of the scenes, and it had my face, turn the page, my face, turn the page, Peyton Manning side. So
somebody just got their bonus revoked.
yeah, so I literally looked at it and I was like, if Peyton Manning was going to do this, and I'm being asked to do it, yes, I would be honored to do that. And then I started learning about the message and the reason and how it was going to be done by Peter Berg, who's this guy, obviously, who has done everything that's just absolutely wonderful. And I have a 22-month-old daughter, Mackenzie.
Yeah.
And with the way her mom and I are built, we think she is going to be a hell of a flag football player. So whenever I heard about the messaging, and then obviously getting a chance to watch Vanita do her thing through the highlights, and then the high school all-star game before the Pro Bowl, it was like flag football becoming an Olympic sport is great for our sport. Girls flag football becoming dominant is not only great for my family, but for whole new communities. So like, the fact that I got asked to do it, I was so incredibly grateful for. But the fact that it's probably going to do some good shit, you know, in the entire sports world, honored. So thank you guys for the opportunity.
You killed it, by the way.
Yeah,
It's a very shit-friendly environment. You can say stuff like that.
yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we should watch the second teaser. Speaking of killed it.
Great.
Really good.
Set up. Touchdown!
I mean, honestly, I took a lot of notes on my three-step drop back and my shuffle, so I'm ready to go to China and throw some more balls, learning lessons
The
from
key
you.
to it is at the top of your drop, you're going to almost slip and fall on your ass.
I was going to ask, what position were you?
Yeah, so I kicked balls, but I'll tell you what, I was comfortable there playing quarterback. The thing about Principal P was, and I learned this from Peter Berg while we were shooting it alongside Glenn and Tim, he was like, don't you think Principal P used to be a great quarterback? Don't you think he wonders if he still has it or not? Why don't you take a drop back? And I'll tell you what, Principal P still had it. He still had it. It felt pretty good.
I love it. Would you like to be referred to as Principal P from here on?
No, we're two different people. I've been, so whenever it was posted, it's been posted on the NFL social media. Thank you so much to the NFL for getting behind this and letting me be a part of it. It's cool socially, but I've been commenting as me talking about, because basically I'm the only person that has the source, you know, and how Principal P could potentially feel. So I've really enjoyed it all. And they put me in an hour and a half of makeup to make me look like a fat Dr. Phil. And
That's a good sign that it
Don't
took
forget
an
the
hour
Tom
and a half.
Selleck mustache.
yeah, Tom Selleck mustache, the whole thing. It was the makeup crew that did it had like 60 years of combined experience. They had worked on Star Trek and Star Wars, and White Chicks, I heard, is a tough task.
That I recall that impressed you the most.
Yeah, White Chicks was a tough task. They told me those were long days, obviously, in the makeup department, but everything was first class. And that's like the NFL to a T. So, like, so lucky and thankful that I got to experience all of it.
Well, you
Very cool.
literally killed it. We're actually going to, well, we'll tell you in a second here, but you're going to see another treat this morning. You know, it's funny, when I saw Pat today, I mean, of course I see him on TV all the time. I sit in my office and watch him as I'm working. And but I never saw him in person except for when he had the suit on, which you saw in this thing there. So
We're
when
like,
I
oh my
saw
God,
him-
he's really
so
fit.
when I saw him in person, I'm like, dude, you're jacked.
Looking great, dude.
Great.
You're not as
Lost all that
fat.
weight.
I need that program.
You got nice hair.
Good program.
All right, well, Vanita, we've not heard from you yet, but I think we should watch the commercial so people can see where you appear in there.
That was a treat.
And then then we want to hear from you about the experience. Sound good?
Yeah, I'm excited. Definitely excited about this. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right.
Oh, wait.
So-
Can you give the whatever?
Yeah, okay, first of all, phones have to be down.
Yeah.
We cannot
Sorry,
record anything.
and he just put his phone up. I mean, it's got the phone,
I know,
unfortunately.
I'm sorry. I think you.
No, I wasn't even singling you out, but now I'm looking at you too.
No,
This is the one camera that we can do.
I placed him there to show what not to do. You did great. You nailed it. Good job. Good job. Okay.
You're allowed.
Everyone else, we're in the circle of trust here.
Please.
First time this has ever been seen. Hopefully the first time it's ever
Actually,
seen
Pat's
outside of
never
this
seen
room.
it. Have you seen it,
I've
Vanita?
never seen it.
Pat and Vanita have not seen it.
Yeah, if
I
you
have
guys
not
want
I
to
think
see
only
it.
I think like 4 of us have seen it. I just saw it like 4 hours ago. So yeah.
All right, cameras down. Here we go. Let's roll it.
Jaworski, you're on thin ice, mister.
Hey, Principal P.
Stop kicking your principal. Everybody's on thin ice.
What's this? A Dorkosaurus Rex?
Come on, Chad. I don't want any trouble.
Leave him alone. I'll kick your butt, Chad.
Hey, Chad. Check out the new girl.
Ew, what is she wearing?
Girls don't play football.
They do where I'm from.
Get a load of this one. Think fast.
You think fast. Right in the Jimmy Johnson.
This ain't over.
We just getting started, Chad.
Let's go. Let's go. Get down. Get down. Come on. There you go. Yeah.
Ooh, new girl bad.
Enough! Let's settle this once and for all. Your best guy,
Girl.
whatever, versus our best guy, the Brad.
Not the Brad. I'm Brad.
I can read.
There you go. You got folded up, Brad. Get her. Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's go! I see you, Delia. That was awesome to watch you watch that.
Still get excited.
All right, I want to hear Vanita's first reaction.
Coach V.
Coach V.
Yeah, Coach V, Coach Krouch. Kids call me Coach V. That's Coach Krouch. But that was amazing. It's just funny going back and living the moments of it being filmed and all the different lines and how perfectionist we are about it. And you guys, it's like the line. So when she got to say, I can read on the Brad shirt, like I think that was kind of improv, but it was great and it was so much fun. So that was amazing.
That was awesome. That's a cool thing. That's my obviously first time seeing it. I had no idea what I was going to be a part of there. That was awesome. And what an honor to be a part of it. And I hope the mission ends up working because I think it's a phenomenal thing for the sport. I think it's a phenomenal thing for the United States. I think it's a phenomenal thing for, just sports as a whole. So thank you for letting me be a part of that. And great edit. The Saquon.
Isn't that great?
Yes!
Yeah, that was sweet. That was a sweet moment. Yeah.
Go Birds.
Yeah, another reason to get a guy like Pete Berg to do that stuff because his action and he obviously knows football incredibly well. He did our 100th anniversary spot. If you've ever seen that one, he did that spot for us. He's done Friday Night Lights, the movie, the series, the whole thing. We're so pumped about this. Right now, you guys, 15 states have been sanctioned as girls as a varsity high school sport. Our goal, of course, is 50. This spot's called Flag 50. There's so much great work going on right now between, people like Vanita and the ambassadors of the game. The 32 teams are doing incredible work. The league is doing a lot of work. Now the flag is going to be the Olympics for the 28 Olympics. So there's so many great things going on, but we really just got to keep it going and feel the momentum.
It's so true. Vanita, you've been playing flag for a long time.
I started playing in 2006 from a Google search.
It's amazing. And then you were a part of the Run With It spot when we featured flag football for the first time at halftime at the NFL. And then being a part of this one and seeing the explosion of flag football since then. What's that been like for you?
The explosion of flag football since the first spot to this spot has already probably quadrupled, honestly. More countries are playing across the world. Our World Championships, IFAF, had the most amount of countries sign up, and more high schools and colleges and NAIA and stuff. And so flag football is a huge movement, and I think it speaks to all ages and all genders. And it's just like little 5-year-olds want to play, 44-year-olds want to play, and it's just like the movement just keeps growing for all of us, both in school, for the Olympics, and just wanting to be a part of something and just playing.
That's so amazing. As a mom of 2 flag football players, I can't imagine having you as your PE teacher. How badass is that?
Do you teach flag?
I do teach flag, yeah.
What do you tell them?
Are you patient?
I tell them it's like a tag game and just don't get touched. So it's like, hold on to this ball, add some juke moves like you do in tag, and just make it to the wall.
And your teacher's the GOAT, so have a little respect.
No pressure.
Tell them what it's like to teach the pros to play. Because
what's
Vanita also works for us on the Pro Bowl, where you have all the guys in the Pro Bowl play.
That's actually a funny connection because I did get the coach in the Pro Bowl for the first year, right? So I worked along Eli Manning. And teaching the big NFL guys honestly felt like I was in a gigantic PE class. I had to put their belt on the proper way. We call it the elbow holders, and theirs were up pointing this way. The belts were twisted. They were all flip-flop. They had pockets on, shirts out, and those are all illegal flag things. So I felt like I was like, okay, let's just go to PE mode. Come here, guys, I got you. Lift your hands up. I'll fix your belt, snap you in, and we're good to go. So working with the NFL guys, honestly, they loved it, and I saw the same joy out of my 5 to 11-year-olds seeing the NFL men play flag at their age and their elite status. So it was amazing to be a part of.
And I think the guys that have been in multiple Pro Bowl flag games now have gotten better at it, too.
Yeah.
I think they actually have gotten better at
Well,
getting
they
to
definitely-
the flag. And some of the moves, because there's different moves in flag football than there is in tackle football. I think they're starting to learn the intricacies, and there's only so much more to grow. It's a beautiful sport.
Yeah, they definitely on the sideline, hearing it right there in front of me, they definitely bought into the sport, and they were really trying to beat each other. I mean, I have my one memory that I'm kind of slightly mad at George Kittle because he dropped my play. Eli called my play in, and it was a back drag in the end zone, and Kittle dropped. I was like, Kittle, that was my play. He's like, my bad, coach. So they really bought. Yeah, I did call him out. I mean.
Coach, that's coaching.
Coach mode came out. The commercial coach came out, and so he was cool, and he was like, "My bad, coach, I know." So it's just a lot of fun to see it being played everywhere, and the NFL supporting it, and you guys putting our sport out there to keep growing to the LA.
You're gonna get USA a gold in the Olympics in LA.
I mean, can I say the F word? F yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You're not in school.
Oh, yeah.
We're at Principal P school with that language.
Yeah, we need to win that one every time.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You can send me detention for cussing. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. My daughter hopefully is going to be on that Olympic team. Well, someday we're going to win gold. We're going to continue to win.
We're going to continue gold. We just got to get it pushed and seen for 2028, and then we make it a move into 2032.
Yep.
And we got to show that this is the real deal.
It is.
I love it. Glenn, having fun in a spot like we just saw, balanced with this important message we're all talking about, that we need to keep growing the game. We need more states to bring it into high schools as an official sport. How do you balance that when you're crafting this?
Well, like many of these blockbusters over the past few years, we actually creatively start at the end. So while we were researching, once we saw 15, or actually at the time 13 states sanction flag football, we're like, okay, well that's an opportunity. We're always like, what's the biggest opportunity for this 2 minutes for 200 million people? I mean, we can make the NFL seem cooler again, or we can do that and move the needle on something. That seems like a great needle to move. Can we get all 37 states on board? By the way, 15 are now on board since we I think shot the spot. So.
And the last one was Louisiana.
That's right, Let's go, Louisiana.
Mississippi, Louisiana.
But and then from that, it's like, well, you don't want to preach your way there. You got to entertain your way there. So what's the most entertaining story? What's the most hyperbolic way to kind of tell what we want to tell? And that's the joy part. And then there's the badass part, which is, well, we want the world to see how fucking badass y'all are at what you do. And so we wanted to get the best in the world out there doing what they do. Try to push you. Actually, it's a funny story. Pete Berg, the director, was pushing them to do what they do. And then the Coach Vanita here kept saying, well, you should do it like this. And he was like, you know what? I just want you to coach them, and I'm going to film this. And then they started stepping up. So as you saw, Marshawn is kind of the reaction guy to their actions. And even in the edit, one of our guiding principles was he can never say, awesome. He can never give one of his reactions unless something legitimately badass happened right before it. We're not telling people anything. We want them to just believe it when they see it.
So good. Pat, this was your first time acting.
Yeah.
Is that right?
So strong.
Yeah, thanks.
How was it?
Thanks, man. Yeah, I don't know. It was interesting. It was certainly interesting. I flubbed. It was cool to be a part of it, you know, and the principal and everything like that. I had everybody talking to me about how I should act and how I should do my thing. Peter Berg told me as soon as I left the trailer, I needed to just act like I was the principal, like I was a method actor or something like that. And then as soon as I got out of the trailer, the NFL social media team had a camera in my face, and they were like, so Pat, how's it feel to be here? I'm like, well, I'm gonna do this as a principal. So then I started talking to them like I was a principal because I was supposed to be a method actor. So, like, I didn't fully understand what to do, when to do it, but I had fun. I had a lot of fun. And Principal P was a easy character to do. Peter Berg was awesome. The whole team was great. So I enjoyed it, yeah. And now, you know, the acting world is one I would have never signed up for. And I had so much fun on this. I have no idea what the future holds.
You're ready.
No. It would have to be like a doofus character. It can't be like a real character.
Yeah.
You know, because I would ruin the whole thing.
A real character.
Yeah, it can't be a real, it has to be a doofus, you know, like Principal.
Yeah, Pat, the thing is, every time we work with a new player or a personality who hasn't acted before, I mean, you don't know. When you get out there, you have no idea if they're going to be any good or not. And sometime you give them direction, and they just keep doing it the same way again, and again. And like you start to get like fear, and you're like, holy shit, this person really cannot act. And they're not going to. Like, it doesn't matter how many times you tell them, you nailed it from the first time, the first line that you did. And I got to tell you, there's only been a few times in my career where I've got an athlete out there, and all of a sudden I just realized, man, this guy can act. And you were one of those.
Thank you, Tim.
Yes.
That
Tell
feels
your
really
agent
good.
to call me.
I tried my best. You grew up in the theater too, right?
I did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I learned that on set. Everybody was so nice and made it easy. So thank you.
Yeah.
Tim,
Let's not
talk
do too
more
much
about
of
the athletes that are in it.
What's that?
Talk about the athletes that are in it and how that comes to be.
Yeah, and again, you heard Pat say that he cares about, the message, right? So we always try to find, in everything we do, we try to find the athletes, try to pair them with things that they really care about. It was a really simple strategy that we started about 6 years ago, just called the helmets off strategy. And basically it was like, get the helmets off the player, find out who they are as people, and get behind the things that they care about, right? And so we always look for players, whether it be a cause message or a message about flag or whatever, like, is this personally important to you and do you want to be a part of it? So, having said all that, the guys in this one, like Myles Garrett, for example, the man, I mean, how many of you guys know who Myles is? I mean, he is a beast. Even though I've seen him so many times on TV and everything, seeing him in person, oh
Different.
my God. And we dressed him up as the nerd who likes to play with dinosaurs. So he's got, well, you saw him.
In real life, he loves paleontology, right? I think it's a passion.
Well, he actually does, yeah.
Yeah,
He
no,
does.
that's his real life
That's
passion.
his thing. Cool. And so we have, Justin Jefferson, who has worked with us many times. He's this incredible guy. He's also a pretty good actor. We took him, if you saw last year's spot about Africa in Ghana, we took him all the way to Ghana with Saquon Barkley. And again, just did a marvelous job. He's an incredible guy. You saw him in there, and then
I don't know if they did. He was the guy who put the sign on the principal. For those who don't know, I've had people ask me.
If you didn't know the guy who kicked the principal
JJ.
Patrick, that was actually Justin Jefferson. And then you got Marshawn Lynch, who I've worked with a lot, not just at the NFL, but I worked with him on Call of Duty too, because he's a crazy Call of Duty player. He's just the man is an incredible actor, but you got to know how to work with him, because there's good Marshawn, and then there's Marshawn that you just cannot control, right? I mean, if he's not happy or whatever, then you're in big trouble. But he did a marvelous job for us on this one. He did a great job for us on the 100 celebration. He is a force unto himself.
And Pat, I'm jogging my memory here. I think Peyton got the deck with all of your images.
Oh, good.
And he was like, how come you only changed, what's this other one? I was like, I forgot to change all the other ones.
If it means anything, that was not a slight in my eyes.
Oh, no, man.
In my head, I was like, if Peyton is okay with doing this, I think I'm okay. He's much smarter than I am, but also it really showcased to me like how big of a deal this was. So like, this is a massive ordeal, and I know you obviously have a lot of talent in what you do, and you're the CMO or whatever. And Vanita, you're a GOAT. But for me, like, being a part of something like this, like, I'm honored and thankful that, because it's a big deal, especially for the league that I love, which is the NFL. We do our daily show, we cover the NFL. We're so thankful for the NFL. When it's the off season, we're dreaming of the NFL. So like, to be a part of the NFL in a message or in anything, like, honor, legit. And it was like a 14-hour flight to San Diego. We must have been flying in to a 10,000 knot headwind. It was the longest flight of all time. But when we got there, the city was beautiful. Felt like Chula Vista High School out there was great, and it was an honor, the whole thing.
For those of you, update your LinkedIn profiles, a CMO or whatever.
That's a big deal.
Pat,
you do a lot of things that are a big deal. I do not.
Totally. I will say that as we've done these things, talent changes in the films. The fact that you were right away when you said yes, we didn't just hear, oh, Pat's in. It was like, Pat has a daughter. He wants to be about it. He wants to promote this on his platform. Everybody just like cheered in the room. And so I think the 100%, there's only one principal P.
I mean, he was the most important role. We're not
Absolutely.
saying that. That was the most important role that we identified. And so, no, we had so much discussion on that. And that's, I mean, Peyton's an incredible actor.
Bingo,
right?
yeah.
I mean, the man has just got his timing, comedic timing is amazing. So we knew he could do the role. We actually got a lot more excited when you came on board.
Come on.
Well, because Peyton's he's on like every other commercial.
Yes.
Right? Like he's in a lot of commercials. So to have you do it like that, that was extra special, but we very careful about who we wanted for each role.
Including Vanita, who was in the script originally. There was no other person. And there were also, when we talk about the stars, there's Vanita, and there's also at least, I think 5 flag football ambassadors. So everybody you saw in that montage is a QB1, QB2, wide receiver 1, whatever, for Germany, Australia.
Germany, Australia, Brazil, Mexico, and USA represented in the commercial.
Badass.
Italy too?
Come on. And not Italy.
No? Okay.
France also.
France, yeah, it was France.
Oui, merci beaucoup.
France, yep.
That's right.
En français.
So.
Any other good stories from set? The making of?
Pat, what was your favorite memory from the shooting?
So the makeup people were awesome. Ed and Jackie, I believe, are their names. And I've never been on a set before. I guess there's timing restrictions for everything, like amount of time in makeup, amount of time in costume, because we had to redo the suit because I had a fat suit. So I think that was Nicholas who had to handle that. So anytime anything was taking me away from the makeup, Jackie would be pissed, like really pissed. Oh, yeah. She's been in the business for like 30 years. She did not have time for everybody else's bullshit. She did not have time for it. So Nikki needed to change the suit. Ed and Jackie put a timer on it, said, this is not on our ass, okay? So I get up, I get back down. Peter Berg comes in to talk to me. Peter Berg is the guy. We're chit-chatting. His dog, Esso, comes in. Esso, this dog that he rescued from Mexico who always travels with him, like Kirk Herbstreit had with Ben, and then with Peter. Peter Berg has Esso. This dog is awesome, comes in. He starts talking to me, and he starts telling me about acting and what to do and yada, 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 all this stuff. Great conversation. I love it. And then somebody has to come in and grab Peter Berg and tell him, like, all right, he's got to get out of here now. And it was Jackie. Jackie went outside and said, get this guy the fuck out of here. I got to do this makeup. It was awesome. It was like, I was like, Jackie, that was Peter Berg.
Jackie.
And Jackie was like, I don't care. Like, I got to get the job. So it was like everybody wanted to do like a perfect job. Everybody was so thankful to be there. And Ed and Jackie set the tone for the entire day. I love them. And I think that was my favorite part, is the amount of humans they got to meet. Yeah, legit. She was
Vanita.
Real deal, though. She was pissed.
I'm like, I think we could all use a Jackie in our lives.
That's what I told her.
Shit done.
I was like, you were the greatest, Jackie. I was like, that was Peter Berg. I don't care. I was like, all right, you don't? Yeah, bingo. She was the best. It was awesome, whole thing.
Are you Vanita?
My favorite part about the commercial was probably Marshawn Lynch, because we were there. I only got to be there for one day of the shoot. I wasn't in the high school scenes, so I was on the field scene. And so the very beginning of the day started with Marshawn in the stands. And what's really cool that you said was, like, you guys take the personality of the football player and just let them be them and you'll catch the clip that you want. Because we're not actresses and actors, right? So you just be you, say what you want to say. And so watching Marshawn in the stands talking up to the little couples boot up talking, and it's like, oh my God, did y'all see that girl? Yo, Key Lola, wow. You know, it's like for real, for like an hour, this is Marshawn doing all sorts of like improvised hype moments that Key Lolo's jabbing and juking. And did y'all see that? Y'all need to check out my girl, look at her. And so that was my favorite part, is just seeing how goofy Marshawn is, and just, that's a cool dude. So that's my favorite.
You should have been in the trailer when Glenn had to go in there and show him the copy.
We don't need to tell that story. Let's keep going.
Because these guys have written all this copy that was supposed to be like, the 80s, phrases and stuff like that. And Marshawn's looking at that shit. He's like, I ain't no damn surfer girl. I'm not saying that.
No Bill and Ted's words.
And so
Bill and Ted
so
references.
he started getting on his phone and like asking if it was his cousin or something.
I think once we said, should we pull words from the movie Breakin'? He was like, okay, now we're in the zone.
It was pretty funny.
Tim, favorite moment?
I mean, I'm not just because Pat's here. I mean, that was fun. I mean, it really was. Seeing Pat in that fat suit and the balding and all that, and then the minute he got that microphone and he just turned into Principal Pat, that for me was just like such a treasure. I mean, it was so fun. And it just like, you just realize that like, this is why you do this stuff. Like if you're going to do a Super Bowl ad, there's a ton of pressure on you when you do an ad. And, everyone's looking at it, everyone's grading it, everyone at home's talking about it. And of course, if you're a professional, being, one of the top commercials is a big deal. So the amount of pressure that's on there, you gotta have fun when you're on set. You gotta have fun when you're developing the idea, and you gotta have fun when you're actually out there producing it and executing it. And so for me, being out there and just being able to enjoy myself and laugh and get a kick out of the takes and all that kind of stuff, it's gonna be awesome, right? You can just feel it. It's gonna be great.
You can feel the fun, yeah.
Yeah, you can just feel the fun, yeah.
Kalolo's hurdle. She kicked out. She did the Saquon hurdle. I couldn't fucking believe she did the Saquon hurdle. That was awesome.
I love it. All right, we have one more teaser, we'll call it, to watch.
Oh, this is not a teaser. This is going to run post game. Hopefully, the principal can also get behind this with his platform, because we don't want to just do this ad and then we're done. And the NFL is going to do plenty behind the scenes, but we're going to keep the message going. And we want to give a little credit to Principal P for doing his part.
I got it done. I got it done. Girls flag football, varsity sport magic happening everywhere. Because of who? Me. Oh, that's a good pull. That's a good pull. We need more like that. Oh.
You could play. Hey, you could get on our defense any day. That was a great pull.
You guys say good pull stuff though? That's like a good pull? Is that lingo?
I wouldn't say we say, oh, that's a good pull. Like,
What is the proper lingo then?
I just fucking got him. Got him.
It's a commercial.
That's on me. Thank you for letting us showcase your sport, though.
Oh, thank you guys. I mean, that's amazing to see it here and you guys speaking about it, and we're just gonna keep pushing this movement forward.
Hey, your highlights are sick.
Sure. Hey,
I watched your highlights this morning.
That was pretty cool. He told me to watch. I was like, oh, what'd you think? And he realized
the throwing motion is memorable, but then she'll put it everywhere. I mean, there were some highlights where you were throwing these dots on the run, and I think that's the biggest thing about girls flag football. Like, I'm watching you spin it. I mean, it was awesome. But the routes that are being run, the catches that are being made, and then that high school all-star game I watched before the Pro Bowl, they were zooming in, they were running cover two, the safety was breaking down, made a check whenever there was a motion. It was like, I mean, this has so much room to like take off, especially with how good the game is, how good the sport is. Then there's this direct snap option release play. Seems to be unstoppable. It's like the sport is different than football, but it's similar enough. It has so much room to take over, I think. Like, it's so good.
What I told Glenn this morning, for me, flag football is a platform where it's inclusive. So many of us can play, right? But it's a super creative sport, which is what you saw, because you wouldn't see that same type of creativity in tackle football, because you could get a fumble, right? Yeah. So it's different. It's a different creativity in our game with multiple quarterbacks, if your system does that, on top of the fact that we can drop back, like our 4 quarterbacks and have 1 receiver this whole way down, right? And so I told Glenn today, I was like, tackle football to me growing up, I love, but it's like a hip hop break dance. It's a different type of power in it. But flag football to me is like, it's its own art. It's a ballet dance. So we dance a different style because it's jab, it's quick, it's finesse, and you don't want people to touch you. Whereas tackle, you grab them, throw them down, we're down, move the chains, right? So it's just, we dance different, and it's cool that you see that.
Yeah, it's good to be on the dance floor, though. Amen.
I mean,
Amen.
Sport.
your hallway teacher,
Hell
you
yes.
had dance moves. You had tap dancing for
That's
sure.
Principal P. Yeah, he's got a little bit.
Well, there's a website at the end of the spot, at the end of there too. I don't know if we have the image to pull up, but everyone can go there and help lobby in your home state, wherever you're from, help get high school girls flag football as a high school sport in all 50 states. That's the ambition.
NFLflag50.com.
Yes. Thank you. Thanks all.
Thank you all.
Great work. Great work. Thank you.